G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, it's pretty cold weather in Adelaide. I've had to go for the gloves today. They're down around sort of 8 degrees. And I've got a little project I'm going to do. As you know, I do backyard casting of aluminium. I cast my own aluminium, just melt it down in a simple little furnace, and you can machine up just as good a type of aluminium as you would buy, you know, really. You can get a good job out of it. It comes up pretty well. As you can see, these are all blanks that I've done in the past. There's a bit there I've cut through. It's perfectly good for home workshop, you know. And I mean, if you bought this, I hate to think of what this would cost. I mean, there's probably a kilo there. It's bloody expensive to buy in Australia, very expensive. And anyway, I cast it in various sizes, just use a tube, drop it in and it shrinks out. And yeah. Now these small ones here, I did these yesterday. I didn't video it because you've seen me casting stuff before. I've seen, you know, but I've shown the process. The small diameter stuff's handy because, you know, why machine out a great big one when you don't want a small diameter component? So this is just a smaller diameter tube that I used to cast it in. It was an old clutch slave cylinder off of the old Tata. As long as it's uniform and there's no seam in it, you know. Anyway, I'm going to use a couple of these, or one of these today, to do a job on the mini lathe. There's one thing on the mini lathe that really does bug me, and I'll show you what it is. Now on the old Chinese CQ9325, which is I've had for years and years, and it's a great old lathe. These handles, these you know, wider grips, are really a good fit. You know, there's no slot, well, a little bit side to side, but there's no axial movement. You know, they're quite well done. And there's two styles. You know, this is the smooth style like that, and then this is lightly knurled, stepped design for the cross slide, which I quite like. And I was thinking I might use this pattern on the mini lathe, but I changed my mind. I'm going back to just basic, because I'll show you the problem on the mini lathe, the thing I don't like about it. You would have seen where I machined up these extensions and bigger diameter grip for the tool post pull down, and also for the tailstock lever. And they work really good. They're perfect. That's what you want. Fits your hand nicely, extends the levers out to give you more purchase and more leverage. Perfect. And these are just Loctited onto the originals, and it's an easy peasy job. The lathe is fantastic. I mean, it's beautifully made, you know. I was out at Paramount Browns yesterday looking at a lathe they've got out there on display, and it's basically, I don't know if they're going to get these in or not, but it's called BL500. And the BL550 is the lathe I gave best bang for buck for, and this is next one up. And what it is, it's an exact copy of the AL250G. I'm diverging a bit here, but I might as well tell you this. They've got this lathe out there on display, just the one, and it's an AL250G brother, you know, it looks identical. And I had a real good look at it when I was out there, and yeah, you know, I don't know whether they got it to sell, you know, as a sample, or whether they're going to sell them, or I wasn't very impressed with the finish on it, you know. It was pretty ordinary. I was pretty disappointed, really. The finish on this is just fantastic, you know. All of the you know, the dovetails and the ways are just beautifully made. But and most of Paramount stuff out there is also like that, you know. It's well done, but this one I just wasn't very impressed, you know. And I have heard stories about people buying AL250Gs from Heron Forbes, and there's been problems with them, particularly with the gearbox mechanism on them, you know. you know, getting the gears and slop in there, and yeah, issues, diverging cross slide ways, and yeah. Anyway, I wasn't wrapped, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen, whether they're going to actually start selling that model, or whether that's just one they got in and decided, and you know, they get rid of it. But hard to say. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, the mini lathe. What I don't like about the mini lathe, well, okay, I didn't like these, you know, the short little handles, and they bite into your fingers, so I put these big grips on them. That's home cast aluminium. And as you can see, it comes up absolutely as good as the bought stuff, no problem, if you do it right. And it's easy to do. If you go back through my videos, I show you exactly how you should be doing it, and it's easy to set up, easy to do, it doesn't cost you hardly anything. Okay, I diverged. Now, this is the bit on here that pisses me off a bit. Look at the slop in that, you know. I mean, it's got a bit in and out, which doesn't worry me, but it's got this axial slop, which I think is pretty shitty. I don't care about the fact that it's plastic. I mean, the screws into a metal female part there. It's just that these slop around and spoil an otherwise pretty damn good little lathe, you know. Okay, you get some backlash in the gears. All the Chinese lathes are like that, you know, pretty much. They all got slop in the gears. I wouldn't worry about that, but I just don't like that. So I'm going to make up one of these for here and one for the tailstock out of aluminium, out of, you know, homegrown aluminium. And okay, it'll be silver and this will be black, but I'm not worried about that. It'll look okay, and it'll look just as okay as these will. And I did actually cast up a new one of these, but then I just gave the idea away. I decided it was really not really necessary. So, but I don't like that. I will change that. So you can take your pick, can't you? You know. Well, oh, that's that handle I made up for the mini lathe, but decided not to go on with it. Okay, what'll we do? We'll grab one of these and just machine it down to, I think it's 16mm diameter, that handle. Drill the centre, take the bolt, and then use an end mill to make room for to recess the head on the bolt. And then machine a taper on it, which I'll probably do on the old Schaublin, because it's great for tapers. It's got nice long top slide, and it's ideal. That's why you buy toolmakers lathes. They're great for that sort of work. Okay, moving on. Okay, we're not mucking around here. I'm just ripping this off in the course settings, and that's just a TCMT. We'll do the fine finish stuff later. we'll go for maximum length, so we only just grip it on the end, that's all you need. And it doesn't matter how rough a job we do here, because this isn't the final finish, and I'm on the coarsest feed. That's coming up alright, there's no porosity, no holes in it or anything, as you can see. Yeah, we want 17 mil. We've got a way to go yet. Right, well, clearance is the issue now, getting in close with the tooling I've got, so I've got a bit of overhang, that won't matter. And the name of the game is to get the best finish I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, using this bit, I'm going to feed away from the chuck. That'll put all the load onto the live centre. You've got to realise that when you're machining towards the chuck with aluminium, if you're doing heavy cuts, the aluminium can actually walk through the jaws because it's pretty soft stuff. So you want to pull it down hard, and if you're doing really serious heavy cuts, machine away towards your live centre, and that will take that danger away. Now we'll go on to medium feed. This is where quick change gearbox on the lead screw is one of the best things you want to have on a lathe. We'll change the direction. So we're going to feed away from the chuck, and we're still spinning at 450. Let's do it. There you go, not bad for a first pass on what was a rough finish. So, you know, home cast aluminium, once again, saves you a fortune if you do it right, and it's easy to do. You don't need a degassing agent, you don't need flux, you just need good aluminium to begin with, and do it the way I show you. Okay, I'll do a second pass on it, and yeah, we'll check the diameter. Yeah, it's got to be reduced more, so I'll do another pass, get it back, and then on medium feed, and then I'll do a fine feed at the very end. Interesting, it's not finishing quite as nicely down the end here. No, it doesn't matter, we'll just use the sections through here. I'll put it on fine feed just to show you what it comes up with on fine feed. That'll make a difference. And just change the angle slightly, give it a bit more lead in. Alright, do it again. There you go, how's that? Not too bad, is it? As I said, this end here a little bit different. Didn't finish as nicely. The aluminium might have had a slightly different density there when I poured it, but this end is certainly perfectly usable and it's more than enough, so we've got to cut off what we want, so we'll stick that end in the chuck and we can get on with the job. Drill the centre out, use the end mill on it to recess the head, and do the taper. So that's it for now, guys. That's just a quick look at how home cast aluminium machines up, what sort of result you can get, and that was nothing. That was just nothing special. That was just some stuff I did in a hurry yesterday, and I didn't even let it cool naturally. I actually quenched it so I could get those half a dozen round bits through, you know, and go and have some tea. Okay, that's how easy it is. That's how you can save a lot of money and you can have some fun doing it. Just play safe. Okay, see you next time. Cheers.